I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks, the Talking Dicks comedy podcast, spinoff from the web series The Two Dicks. I'm Al Romas in very warm, comfortable Tampa Bay, Florida, and that is my partner, Al Ducharme, Studio City, California. How goes it today, Alfred?
A good day, a good day. Just came back from a 5-mile hike from the Griffith Park area.
5 miles.
Yeah. That includes walking from the parking lot. I don't know. Yes, we Bernadette and Eric Deskin, comedian friend of ours, met up there, and it was a nice one. We normally go up to the actual conservatory itself, but this time we went up to the helicopter landing area, and it was different. And it was a beautiful, clear day. We could see the Pacific Ocean all the way downtown Los Angeles, and it was just crisp and clear. Nice. Feel good.
5 miles, though. That's pretty good, man. That's not a bad hike, you know?
No, I'm starving. And a lot of it, the beginning of it was pretty steep. So it truly was closer to a hike. I mean, it wasn't like poles and all the walking sticks, but it was definitely, I was.
Polish people, do you mean?
Yes. They were
Polish, they don't walk, do they?
No, we have to, that's a part of it. You have to carry a Polish person.
Oh, 5 mile hike. That's a, what do they call that? That's a, you know what I mean? Like that's probably a name for that I can't pull right now. You know what I mean? It's like no, I can't pull it. I need someone.
You mean like a triathlon?
Yeah, something like that where you do a 5K holding a pole, a Polish person. See, if we were funnier, we would have the name of that. We could have came up with that fast.
See, this is why we need rehearsals.
Yes. Unrehearsed. Obviously, we just both stared at each other like, what? I don't know where to go with that. Well, that's good. You got your exercise in, and now you can sit back. You can have a cocktail and a meal and feel good about yourself.
Well, we're trying to go easy on the sauce right now, but
they call it gravy, by the way.
Yeah,
the
Italians, they really do. I think the American Italians.
I've met many Italians. I know Italians. I've never heard anyone call it gravy.
Someone told me that. It was a Cranston person who says, "Hey, they call it gravy. If you don't say gravy, I don't know what you're talking about. Sauce."
That's not Bryan Cranston, is it?
It wasn't Bryan Cranston. No, he's not Polish.
Have you seen his show? Have you seen his new show, Your Honor, on Showtime?
He has another show?
Yeah, he's a judge. It's kind of the Breaking Bad. He's a judge, a great, respectable judge, and his kid commits a crime. So he helps the kid out secretly without anyone knowing what he's doing, and then I guess he gets caught and things ensue. But it's supposed to be pretty good. It's called Your Honor. It's on Showtime, but I haven't seen it.
That just happened actually. A judge was sentenced to 75 days in jail for something. She was helping out her brother, who was being fired for something, so she got involved, something that she shouldn't have done, and she's been disbarred. And there was an outcry, and the final judge, it was like her 5th court appearance, different judges, different levels, and this judge was threatened by postcards to his home. They were all put on postcards from about 20 different people saying, "I'm a registered voter." They were like threatening him and calling him names, and they called him.
You said it was a woman.
No, I'm sorry, the judge who was presiding over the woman judge's case, who was sentencing her, was being threatened. And he read the postcards in court, and they're calling him a killer because he was up against charges himself 5 years prior for vehicular homicide. He was driving, and a person ran in front of his SUV. Now, he was apparently going over the speed limit, 10 miles an hour. But what saved him was the person, they found cocaine in the person's bloodstream.
Well, that's a hilarious story.
So he got off. But if it was me or you,
right?
Because he was a
we
judge.
Wouldn't get off.
No, we wouldn't get off. That's the whole point. So
that's our problem.
It was a very sticky and ugly situation, and the woman judge who got
sticky and ugly. I thought we wasn't getting off. What the hell?
I'm sorry. I babbled on about that. But anyways, the weather looks fabulous where you are right now in Tampa. You're in the short sleeves again. Talk to me.
Yes, I went to you can hear a helicopter. I'm outside. You hear that?
Yeah. What do you want? Are you doing a scene from MASH 2021?
I'm doing Goodfellas. I'm making gravy, and I got a helicopter over me, and I got the cocaine going from your last story. So it's all tied in now.
It's all tied into the Cuban Connection.
Yeah, play some George Harrison music underneath, and we got a movie. So I went to a movie. Speaking of Goodfellas, I went to a theater yesterday. A movie theater.
I have not been.
Can you believe it?
It's been over a year.
I went with a young lady, and we saw
15?
Yeah, we'll call it that. Well, I don't know. I don't ask ages. She looks of age. I don't. What do I?
She had a note from her parents.
What am I, the police? Goddammit, you know what I mean? I'm anyway. 40% capacity in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
They play 3 or 4 showings a day, and we went, and there were 2 other people in the entire theater.
That's awesome.
2 other people, 40 rows behind us. And it was great. It felt like the old days. She snuck in a bunch of candy and shit, and we got popcorn. And she brought.
She didn't get popped.
She got popped all right. No, I'm kidding. She brought in candy and snacks and shit, and we had popcorn. But it felt like normalcy for 2.5 hours. You know, we saw the shitty previews, and
awesome.
We saw the little things. Denzel Washington's movie, the new movie. Have you seen this? The Little Things.
I saw the poster for it where he's looks like he's a judge. He dressed like a judge with glasses on and whatnot.
He's it's I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little bit. I felt it was a little slow in parts, but comedian Bob Golub.
Yes.
Remember him?
Yep.
He had been posting that he's in it. He's all over Facebook. I'm in the new Denzel movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting and waiting. Bob's in it for literally the blink of an eye kind of moment in a movie. You know what I mean? Bob's counting out change in a coffee shop, and Denzel's behind him. And there probably was more to it, but on screen,
he got cut. Yeah.
You got Golub's face and his hand pushing quarters and gone. And then Denzel's running down the street with cups of coffee flying and throws them away. But it was just fun to be in a movie theater, man. It was great. You know what I mean? It really felt like normalcy.
I am longing for those days. Absolutely. And I hadn't been going to the movie theater much at all now because of all, big screen television at home, high def.
Right. It was good.
Like, hey, we can spend $14.95 and watch this movie, or we can go to the movie theater. But I do love the movie theater experience, and I have been going much less in the last couple of years. But I think
this is going to be a big boom to the movie theater.
I think so. I think buy some stock in AMC right now.
Right. I think people are going to want it. And when it's summer, fall, when it kind of releases and we're out, I think people are going to be like, I want to go to goddamn all normal things again.
Well, and you got to remember, movie theater,
they want to do it.
Most movie theaters, the ceilings are like 30 feet high. And if they're doing 40% capacity in the beginning of this, then that's plenty of room.
And no one was there. It was great. And then they showed Kong versus Godzilla. That's a new movie coming out. And that's one you got to see in the theater. That one looks fucking great. As dumb as it is.
That's a remake from the 70s? The Japanese?
But done with today's technology, it was unbelievable. I mean, Kong, versus Godzilla. Who do you take in that fight? Kong versus Godzilla.
Well, Godzilla, if he has the same powers that he had.
He does.
Oh, well, then I got to go with Godzilla. But
me too.
But I want Kong to win because he's more human.
Of course we do. We love Kong, but Godzilla's he's what do they call it? Not ambidextrous. What the fuck? Amphibious. And he shoots fire. And Kong's just a monkey, for God's sake.
You grabbed it. You got that one. He's ambidextrous.
I did. He's ambidextrous.
Well, if he has two penises, you would be.
There you go. There you go. We mentioned that's a scene from The Two Dicks. If you're into that kind of thing, and speaking of into kind of things, as you're listening now, join our Patreon for God's sake, and see the video. See the video. Alfred's in front of our microphone right now. He's blown up the Two Dicks Talking Dicks logo, and you want to see us.
Yeah, you want to see us. You want to see what's happening now. Al has nipple clamps on. So, Andy, you want to see that?
I'm going through a man called Horse Phase. Yeah, a man called. I'm going backwards.
We've referenced
about a year ago
a man called Horse a couple of times. Yeah.
You know what we should mention too? Just throw it out there.
Sure.
No names, nothing. But we have a big. We have 100th anniversary episode coming up. Our 100th podcast, if you can believe it.
That's
Almost
true.
a little over a year. It'll be our 100th, and we've booked a rather special guest.
We did.
I would say,
as long as he doesn't change the date or back out on us. But
roughly,
yeah.
roughly, then it'll be around the 100th. But we're hoping. But we have a whoa! There we go. There we go.
You got so excited. You got a boner, and you knocked over your mic.
My boner is tremendous. It knocked over the mic.
You gotta release the Kraken. Holy shit! But you did.
Yes, sir.
You did go on. You went on a date to the movie theater, correct?
I did. I had a hostage with me.
Did you not want to talk about? You don't want to talk about it on air in your personal life?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it was fun. We had a great time. Went to the movie. Went to had a bite. Then we went to the movies. Then we caught a sunset. We got there right when the sun was burning into the ocean on the Clearwater, the causeway there.
And that's when she pulled her mace out.
And then she said, "What the fuck? Get away from me, you son of a bitch!"
No,
it's
because you already told me this pre-show where you went after, and that's when I made my comment. Tell the folks where you went after. Well, first of all, she asked you a question. What did she ask?
Well, we were talking about cigars and such, and then I had mentioned that I like Davidoff, and she was willing to head to Davidoff with me, which, for a woman who's says, I'll go to a cigar bar with you and hang out, and she didn't want a cigar, but she had a couple puffs on the old cigar that I had.
She had a couple puffs on your stick?
Yes, sir. I set you up beautifully for that. I put it right on the tee.
You sure did.
I put it right on the tee, and you took a big swing, and you connected.
I'm going to tell you something, right? You did set me up, but you were trying to maneuver around so I wouldn't swing at it. I could see even your face. You can't see this, of course, if you don't have the Patreon. But even his face, he was like, I could see it. His eyes were going off, trying to throw me.
I mean,
you're trying to throw me off.
I'm saying that my date was puffing on my cigar. I know. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And we had a couple of mojitos. Boy, they made a mojito there. I don't remember the ingredients now, of course, but some 23-year-old rum, and holy God, was that tasty. And so we had some mojitos, and she was like, puffing on the cigar, and it was great. I had a good time. And
marry her. We should have whipped out the engagement ring right there. I'll get on and you should get on two knees. Bring it with two knees.
Usually I carry the engagement ring with me, but I didn't this time. I had forgot it.
Missed opportunity.
So, we'll see about next time. And by the way, sir, speaking of opportunities,
do we have?
What time is it?
It's time for
question.
Wow.
We have a question, sir.
Okay.
And I like this one. This is kind of unique, I guess, or I don't think we've covered it. That's all unique because a lot of them they tend to repeat. If you want to ask us a question, just ask on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or wherever you like. We're easy to find. But this question is, hey, guys, what is on your bucket list? What's on your bucket list?
Well, that's easy.
I don't really care for that phrase, and I always thought that's kind of hacky. That movie sucked, and somehow that movie sucked, and yet it became part of the lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
Bucket list,
mm-hmm.
even though it was a shit movie and nobody liked it.
It wasn't a great movie.
I don't
know if it was a shit movie, but I thought it was pretty easy in the particular situation for me. On my bucket list right now is I'm a little envious as well, is to go to a movie theater.
That's on your bucket list, the movie theater?
If I can get through this friggin' pandemic.
And then go to a cigar bar and have a girl.
With mojitos. Are you shitting me? That's all on my bucket list. Holy shit.
Yeah. I knocked out 2 bucket list items yesterday. Awesome.
I think it's good. Mine has to do with travel, and as that movie was as well. There was travel in that movie, the bucket list.
I never saw the movie, by the way. I'm just saying.
Oh my God! How could you say that? You're like the church.
I don't go to movies.
You condemn a movie without seeing it.
That's a shit movie. I go to real movies, goddammit.
Yeah.
I see real films. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say I'd like to get to New Zealand and Australia for that. Yeah, I'd like to get both of those on one shot.
You want to do the 23-hour flight? Is it going to be worth it? I want to do it too in a way, but is Australia going to be worth the travel to get there? Or are you going to be like, it's a city and it's a nice beach and big deal?
I want to perform.
I don't know.
I want to tour for 2 weeks and then vacation for 2 weeks.
Oh, you want to do the standing up comedy and then?
Yeah, I think I want to do it in reverse. I think I want to tour so that I can get more material and then perform for 2 weeks.
Interesting.
That's what I like to do. That's on my bucket list. It was actually in the planning. I was going to go to Australia to do not quite 2 weeks of performing, but 8 days.
Really?
Yes, and
I don't remember that call. I don't remember getting the call to join. I don't remember any of that. You're going without me, you son of a bitch.
It was the one talking dick. No, because I was tying it in with F is for Family, and it was in the beginning stages. But then they had the fires. Remember the fires?
Yeah.
Canceled, and then the pandemic, followed by the pandemic. So
I remember the pandemic better than I remember the fire.
Australia was on fire for about a month.
God damn it!
And then the pandemic
on the Barbie, there was smoke on the Barbie.
Yes, someone put a shrimp on the Barbie. It fell off. It was.
You call that a gun or a knife? This is a knife. Yeah, isn't that Australia?
You got to leave the impressions to your buddy Al.
That's right. That's a knife. I got a knife. I was doing an impression once at a club somewhere, and it was an English woman, and then I was doing that voice. She was just like shaking her head. I go, "What?" She goes, "That's Australian. It's not. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying." Like the woman's like, decoding it while I'm fucking. It's like, really, you couldn't. That's close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough. It's an accent.
I think she. Sometimes women that confront you like that in public that don't know you, they just want to hook up with you.
Is that it?
Yeah, you're missing all the signs.
They want the cigar. They want my stick.
They want your stick and mojitos. That's usually a green light.
Except for last night. Usually it's a green light. Yeah, but usually it's a green light. I think I would like my bucket. I'd like to go back to Cuba. I want Cuba.
Oh,
Cuba. I want to go back. I want to go back so badly to Cuba. And really, I was set up. My buddy John and I were going in, I believe, last April, and the flights were booked, the Airbnb was booked, everything was booked.
You and Consoli, John Consoli, right?
Yeah, John Consoli, and we were booked, ready to go, and then the pandemic and and they shut it down, and it was all over and gone. But that kind of, I want to go back.
Yeah,
gotta go back. I didn't appreciate it enough when I was there. A few times I thought, well, I'll just keep coming back. Who thought? Who knew?
It 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, Bernadette and I went. We were on a cruise, and we did the 2 nights in.
Seems you do a lot with this Bernadette.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did 2 nights in Havana.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. So we just left the ship. I didn't have shows. Everybody and it was a great time. And then we hit 2 other ports after that. But we spent 4 days total in Cuba, and we were just saying this the other day. Oh, we really like to go back. That was so awesome. So I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick with my 23-hour flight, but I could easily go back to Cuba. That was awesome.
I always get not offended, whatever the word is, when people go like they've never been, but they'll go, yeah, that's a shithole, Cuba. And it's like, you weren't there. You don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't think it's safe. You've never been there. Yeah. It's completely safe. Completely. Everything's fine. It's great. Beautiful.
Well, you got to remember, they've had tourists coming in from all over the world, except the United States. They had Canadians. Canadians would vacation there. It was cheap for decades. And a lot of
Canadians are cheap.
Yeah.
I hear.
Yeah.
They don't tip. Is that true? Or is that African Americans? I don't remember. One of them don't tip.
Oh my God! I gotta.
One of them don't.
Oh, I gotta spend an hour in the editing booth.
One of them don't. One of those groups doesn't tip.
Well, Europeans are notorious for not tipping or tipping very little because their minimum wage that like a waiter would get here, whatever it is. I don't even know what does a waiter get nowadays. Is it like $2.75 an hour, and then they get base it on their tips, their income. Whatever it is.
Couldn't tell you, sir.
Well, California now, I think it's $10. I think it's like $10, which is nuts. But either give them $20 an hour, but not 10.
Give the people what they want.
And again, I don't have much wait staff experience, waiting on tables experience. But my wife does. She tips very heavy. She tips very heavy.
She waits on your table.
She waits. She's so into it.
That's right.
I got this. I'm going in the kitchen. But
good. That's why barefoot.
But again,
pregnant. Where they belong.
The wait staff in Europe, from my experience, they get everything: healthcare, education in many countries, and they're
education.
You don't get.
What's the point of that?
You don't get the best.
You're gonna lose
you don't
waiter.
get the best service because of that. Whereas in the United States, they work for their tips.
Yeah, and you don't want to educate them because then they'll leave. You want to keep them dumb. It's like Trump. We love our uneducated.
They all have tenure too. You can't really fire them.
Yeah. All right.
No, apologize.
What if they?
Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying they can't be fired. But what if they do something fireable offense? You can't get rid of them.
No, they can be fired, but it's hard to get fired.
Sir, I'm eating a Caesar salad here, and I know that's your pubic hair.
And they pluck it out.
I can't fire that.
They pluck it out.
I can't fire that guy.
Not as a customer.
I want him out. Hey, one more thing before we go. Have you watched? And people, if you're listening this whenever it is, Monday or so, go back, check it out. Dateline. The last 3 nights, they've had a special series going. Mm-hmm. It's about 6 hours worth. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 hours a night. Called The Widower, about this guy. He's been married 6 times, and 4 of the wives have died. And he's never been arrested. He was arrested just on one other charge, but he cashes in on life insurance policies, and then did one police department. He sued them, and walked away with over $1 million in a lawsuit.
I gotta watch this.
He is cleaning up. He's killing these wives and cleaning up. And tonight's the finale.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that.
This guy is doing very well somehow. He marries these women. They quote unquote they die, and then he cashes in on the life insurance policies. And one woman, I think he knew her a month or two, and he had the policy. Made sure that she was all signed up with life insurance. She even made a video that you can hear him coaching her how to say, if anything happens to me, Tom's got the policy and he gets the house. And she's like, what else? Oh, he gets, and I don't know. I don't know how people find these women.
I got to find these women because how do you get them to say all these things?
Maybe he's got quite a cigar. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but then I hear a lot of women saying they don't like the cigar too big. Because it hurts.
You hear women say that?
I've never heard.
You've heard women say that?
I've interviewed them in private, and they said it's too big. Well, they said it's too big.
Well,
you're going to have to leave, sir.
That's called The Widower on NBC.
All right, we're going to check that out.
The Widower.
Bernadette Pauly is in the background. She's at her desk and she's raising her hand.
From a woman's perspective, I will let you know that the cigar is best when it doesn't talk.
Did you hear that?
The cigar is best when?
When it doesn't talk.
When it doesn't talk. Okay, thank you.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
No, really, don't mess with me, because I don't come down to the bus station and slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working, do I? Oh, get on up here, motherfucker. Give me security. I'm sorry, man. The guy fucking came at me. What do you think, folks?
No way.
Okay, show.
Subscribe.
Mary.
Patreon.com/forward2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.